So to identify which case, let's work on the examples. Let's work on a few examples, and we will identify if it's a case of no solution or if it's a case of infinitely many solutions. Okay, let's work on a few examples here. This first example, we will solve an inconsistent system. And the inconsistent, good morning, Errol. Good morning. The inconsistent system is the one that have no solutions. How can we identify? Let's check this example here. Solve the system by using the substitution method. The first thing is step number 1. You have to choose the equation and isolate one of the variables of this equation on the left hand side of it, right? So let's choose the equation that gives us less work, less trouble. And the equation here on the top, I think is the one, I think is the best one, because the variable is already isolated. If we check, the variable x is already isolated on the left hand side. So we just write down here x equals 2y minus 4. And this is the end. This is everything that you have to do for step number 1. The variable is already isolated. You have x here isolated. Move to next step. Work on step number 2. Let's work on step number 2. And for step number 2, you get the next equation, the other equation. And you're going to substitute the variable that you isolated, in this case here, x. Let's substitute x, this expression here, into this equation. Instead of x, we're going to write the expression 2y minus 4. So let's do it. Negative 2 times, instead of x, you're going to write this, 2y minus 4. Okay, you write this, 2y minus 4. Plus, repeat it, 4y equals, repeat it, 6. To finish step number 2, we need to simplify. Apply addition property, apply distributive property first, distributive property to get rid of the parentheses, and then combine like terms. Negative 2 times 2y is negative 4y. And negative 2 times negative 4, positive 8 plus 4y, repeat it, repeat this, equals, repeat it, equals 6. Now combine like terms, and Jacob is asking something here. I was wondering if it would be possible if I can catch up with everything during Thanksgiving break, so I would be able to study and get good scores. Definitely yes. This is a big yes, Jacob. Yes. And during Thanksgiving, we're not going to have meetings. We're not going to be here at school. But you can send me messages using Teams. I can eventually give you some hints, can give you some tips. But you definitely can work on the previous quizzes. You can work on any previous assignments from this quarter. So work on this quarter, or you work on Khan Academy, or you work on IXL.com on some subjects that we're working on this quarter. And I'm going to give you, this is going to be great. Definitely, this is a big yes. Thank you, Jacob. Let's finish this. Combine like terms. Check what you're going to find here. This is pretty interesting. Negative 4y plus 4y is 0. Then you're going to find here 8 equals 6. And this is crazy, right? This is crazy. 8 is equal 6. How can someone say something like that? 8 equals 6. This is a false statement. This is crazy. This is not true. So when you have something like that, that's crazy, that's not true, it's false, then you're going to have no solution, and we can say this is an inconsistent system that have no solution. Okay? Any question about it? This is one of the situations we have no solution. If this is clear, we're going to move to the other situation where we're going to have infinite solutions. Okay? We found some of these situations yesterday when working on the quiz, and I think you kind of remember, you kind of know. You're not going to have the graph to see that in the previous situation that the lines are parallel, but you're going to find this crazy thing, this false statement that means the equations, the system of equations have no solution. Now let's work on a different situation, different case of dependent system where you're going to have infinite solutions. The same thing, apply step number 1. For step number 1, choose one of the equations that give you less work, less trouble, and I think I'm going to choose the equation of the bottom. The equation of the bottom, I'm going to call it equation number 1 because I can isolate y easily. I just need to move -3 to the other side, because if we move, and we're going to change the sign, right? If we move to the other side, then we're going to have y isolated on the left hand side. Y equals 2x plus 3. That's it. That's it. That's everything that we have to do for step number 1. Isolate one of the variables. Let's move to step number 2. On step number 2, now get the other equation. Let's call the other equation number 2. And we have, just real quick, just for me. Now on equation number 2, we have to substitute, we have to change every y that we can find here. We're going to change by this expression 2x plus 3. So let's do it, let's work. Repeat, 4x minus 2 times, instead of y, you're going to write down 2x plus 3. This is what you're going to have. This is equals to what? -6. To finish, to conclude step number 2, apply distributive property, combine like terms, and then you're going to finish step number 2. So repeat, 4x minus -2 times 2x is 4x, -2 times +3, -6, equals -6. And this is interesting because we can simplify. 4x minus 4x is 0. Then you're going to find -6 equals -6. What do you think about this statement here? Is this true? Is this false? Is -6 equals -6? Yes, this is a true statement, and this is going to be true always. Doesn't matter the value of x. Doesn't matter if x equals 0, if x equals 10, if x equals 1000. Doesn't matter the value of x. This -6 will always be equal to -6. And when you find a true statement, something like that, you're going to say this has infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. Oops, what's this? It moved by itself. What's this? Okay, this is infinitely many solutions. Any questions? If it's not, again, what you need to be good at, what you need to master, is to apply step number 1, step number 2, and eventually step number 3. Sometimes you don't even need to work to apply step number 3. But if you master it, if you're good at step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, you're going to be able to solve any system of linear equations, even if it has no solution, even if it has infinite solutions. That's what really is important. Thank you, Ariel. Is to be good, to understand, and to practice step number 1, step number 2, step number 3 of the substitution method. And that's it. that I have to show you on the slides, on the PowerPoint. The next thing is to work on the quiz, to practice. So, are you ready? Let's practice, let's work on the quiz. Before moving to the quiz, before working on the quiz, let's try to answer this question here. Let's try to answer the bell work. This is going to be like a warm-up. A warm-up before working on the quiz is to finish this bell work. And it's about chocolate, it's about candy, everything that I like here. Starburst and Kit Kat bars, lots of chocolates. That's what I like. Yesterday, Jenna bought 10 Starbursts and 5 Kit Kats at $8. Today, she bought 5 Starbursts and 10 Kit Kats and she paid $10. What was the price of 1 Kit Kat plus 1 Starburst? And the price didn't change from yesterday to today. The price is the same. So you can make you can compare. You can make a system of linear equations if you want, if you wish. And I don't know. You can figure it out. You can find a way of figuring it out. You don't need to give me the price of one or the price of the other. You just need to give me to tell the price of both together. 1 Starburst and 1 Kit Kat. What is your answer? What is your guess? The hint, the price is going to be between $0 and $5. Somewhere between $0 and $5. So give me your best guess. Give me your opinion, your answer, your guess. What do you think is going to be the right answer? What happened? Something odd. All right, now it's good. So everybody, then we have 20 students here on the meeting. So Ryan, Ilya, Makina, Madi, Kishaw, Keon. We have Keon McCall, Keon Harding, Julian, Juan, Danielle, Jesus, Jalexis, and Jacob, and Ewil, Cynthia, Chrisdel, Kalia, Anjali, and Alanis. Type your message. Tell me what is your number, what is your guess, and I will check who get closer to the right answer. Who is the winner? And the winner is going to get 1 Kit Kat or 1 Starburst. The winner today gets 1 Kit Kat or 1 Starburst. Whatever you prefer, whatever you like more. Jacob is guessing 250, Maddie 250, Chris Dale 3. So it's going to be 250 or 3. What? You go mail it? Yes, I can do it. I can mail to you. You give me your address, I mail the Starburst or the Kit Kat. It's nice. It's going to be a surprise to receive by mail. The Kit Kat might be, it's not too hot. Kit Kat might be melted or broken. Keon thinks it's $3. Keon McCall, $3. 350, Julian, 350, maybe 350. 450, Kishon. 450. There's another guess, 450. The solution for our bell work, we're going to work as this is as a system of linear equations. We can apply the knowledge that we have about system of linear equations. So we have each Starburst, let's say, costs X dollars, and each Kit Kat, let's say, costs Y dollars. From the first day, yesterday, Jenna bought 10 Starbucks, 10 times X, plus 5 times Y, equals $8. And on the second day, today, she bought 5 Starbursts, plus 10 Kit Kats at $10. We need, what the question is asking, is X plus Y. We could just apply addition property, multiplication property, we could use we can apply step number 1, step number 2, step number 3 of substitution method and find the answer for each one. But I think we can use a shortcut. We can actually use an easier way, a quicker way to find the answer. We add both equations, we add them up, we add 10x plus 5x is 15x, 5y plus 10y, 15y, and $8 plus $10, $18. That means if we buy 15 Starbursts and plus 15 Kit Kats, this is going to cost $18. And then we divide everything by 15. Divide everything by 15. That means if I buy 1 Starburst and 1 Kit Kat, I'm gonna pay $18 divided by, $18 divided by 15. $18 divided by 15. If you type in a calculator, $18 divided by 15 is going to be $1.50. This is the answer. This is the right answer for this bell work. $1.20 is the price of 1 Kit Kat plus 1 Starburst. That's it. Let's work here on letter B of the quiz. We're going to apply the substitution method, and the first thing we're going to do is apply the step number 1. Step number 1 on letter B. I'm going to choose the first equation, the equation on the top, because we don't need to do anything. The step number 1, if you remember, is to isolate one of the variables, and the variable is already isolated. It's y equals negative 3x minus 1. So we don't need to do any further work here. Is already isolated. Let's move to step number 2. Step number 2, we get this next equation, the second equation. Then we will change wherever we find y. We're going to change, we're going to substitute by this equation here, but this expression, negative 3x minus 1. So, equation number 2, 2x minus 3 times y. Instead of y, write down negative 3x minus 1 equals negative 8. Okay? Now simplify, apply distributive property and simplify the equation. 2x, repeat this, 2x. Negative 3 times negative 3, negative is negative positive, 3 times 3, 9, x. And negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3, equals negative 8. Combine like terms, we can combine 2x with 9x is 11x, plus 3 equals negative 8. And we finished, we concluded this step number 2. We can work now on step number 3. Step number 3. On step number 3, we're going to solve the equation. We're going to apply addition property. And one thing that we can do is move this positive 3 to the other side of the equation. This is addition property. And when we move, we're going to change the sign. So we're going to write down 11x equals negative 8. And we move positive 3 to the other side, minus 3. So 11x equals negative 11, x equals negative 1. Okay, this is